Hey everybody, I am Katrina from In Cat We Trust, and this is another episode of Kicking Back with Cat podcast. Here I have with me wrestler from Elevate Pro, Rob Horn. How are you today, Rob?
I'm doing pretty well. Swell, you could say.
I'm glad to hear that. So I'm always curious with regards to wrestlers. Like, we all had like that dream job we wanted to do as a kid. Like for me, I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to lock people up. I like had this whole idea of what I was gonna do, and then life happened, and I'm like, I don't know. And why I do right now, I'm a writer now. That was one of my jobs, but it wasn't my first one. So if you wasn't wrestling, what would be another dream job for you that you wouldn't mind doing if you wasn't in any wrestling?
Man. That's like the hardest. This is the hardest question in the world, because it's like, before wrestling, like I didn't know anything else before. All I know is wrestling, and then before this, like even when I thought I couldn't do it, I was like, I had no direction at all. Like I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. So I don't know. I'd probably say like I like art. I do some stuff in music. I'm friends with the entire metal scene and like a lot of local bands down here. So that's probably something I'd get into. I do dabble in some music stuff. I love art, but I mean, I'd probably just be doing what I'm doing now, but just pursuing a different passion and something else that I love. I mean, you know, like most independent wrestlers, we most of us have day jobs, and like we're doing what we can. We're hustling to get money. So it would just be the same thing, different passion. I mean, I would just probably find something else that I really love.
Okay, and you said you like metal band. So who's your favorite metal band? I like some, because I like a wide variety of music. So I listen to so many different types of music. So what's like your favorite metal band?
That's like the hardest. That's another like impossible question. I mean, I'll just rattle off someone's out. Well, for one, my buddies down here, Wasted Creation. Shouts out to Bobby Burnett, Blaine Briscotti, Courtney, all you guys, man. Sam, I can't leave you out because you get mad at me. Love you guys. That's my favorite. That's my favorite band. They actually just dropped their first album. They credited me on it. They didn't need to. I love those guys. But I mean, outside of that, I mean, it's been a lot of slam metal. Just like Brand of Sacrifice. That's been a big one lately. Strangled. I've been listening to a lot of Strangled, Municipal Waste, just whatever I can kind of like put on and just get really angry too. Just like start punching walls and like drinking Mountain Dew. That's kind of my goal. So a lot of like punk, a lot of metal. Those bands have been big. A lot of intervals and Animals as Leaders, like some math rock stuff. So just kind of like I just bounce between anything, but I mean I still listen to like funk and hip hop and like R&B, anything. It doesn't really matter, but metal's always kind of been my roots. So that's kind of where I play.
Okay. I respect that. That's pretty cool. I liked music a little bit, but I don't play instruments like singing wise. But then I'm like, I got to perform and know people. So
I was a tenor sax player in high school. I dabbled in piano, and I played a very, very little bit of bass guitar. So but I was good at tenor sax. That was like the only instrument I actually really learned.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I just got my oldest daughter a bass guitar because she wanted to learn, and I'm like, well, I don't want to tell you no to music. I think music is such a beautiful thing, you know. So that's pretty awesome.
I sucked at it. I was horrible. I would literally look at it and be like, yeah, this is cool. I wouldn't have any idea what I'm doing with
it. What would you say is your favorite part about being a wrestler? Like, you know, there's, I guess, all types of aspects when it comes to wrestling, but what is something that you really love about being able to get into a wrestling ring?
Well, I'd like to say the money, but it's not really there. I don't know. Like, wrestling's really weird because every time I'm about to go out, it's like I have a bunch of different emotions, and like at first it's like, okay, I'm kind of excited, and then like there's like some moments of annoyance, and then there's like heavy panic inducing anxiety, like I'm gonna throw up, and then it's like I'm out there, and then it's just pure adrenaline, and my mind just kind of I'm like tunnel visioned, and then I just get to beat somebody up, and then I kind of get paid for it, and like that's crazy to me. I don't know. I think it's just more of like the fact that I'm doing it, and I never thought I would do it. And a lot of people told me I couldn't do it, like a lot of people. Um, I think that's that's it for me. Is like I really love it, and the fact that I'm doing it when no one else believed I could, aside from a very small handful of people that they know who they are, and that I've told them a million times, that I appreciate everything they've done for me. Like that's pretty much all it is. And I'm petty as hell, so like just the idea of proving people wrong is just like, oh God, thank you.
I appreciate being petty once in a while. That is totally me. Sometimes being petty is necessary. So I totally appreciate that answer. It's super like real, because that's how I could be sometimes too. Just like, oh, you said.
Yeah.
Let me just share you.
I'll have very small story, very short. Somebody that was very integral in my career, he told me when I was like 17, because I weighed like 300 pounds, something like that. Told me that he's like, I don't believe you can do it. You look like shit. Like you don't have the heart. Like you're too lazy. And I lost it. I don't know. Can I curse on here? I don't want to curse.
Yeah, it's fine if you can.
Okay.
I'm okay.
I'm thinking about. I'm like, oh wait. But here I was like, I lost like it was like 115 pounds and just a shit ton of weight, and I changed everything about myself, my mentality, my discipline, and all that. I started like taking up like other things, like going back into kind of doing martial arts again a little bit, like some gymnastic stuff, and I just kind of showed up, and it was like, well, I proved you wrong, boss. Like, so that's kind of the difference to me. It's just like I've always taken a lot of pride in just kind of taking any challenge someone throws at me, spitting in their face, and just kind of like proving them the fuck wrong. That's pretty much all I'm good at, is just proving people wrong, because I'm a know-it-all. Like I am the laziest person on earth, but I'm stubborn as hell. So if you don't think I'm gonna do it, I will.
Sometimes that could be a good motivation, though. Like somebody saying you can't do something, especially if you're stubborn to an extent. Like, okay, well, that just motivated me to do better. So I hear you. I understand that. Would you say you incorporate that stubbornness in your gimmick? Like if somebody's never seen your gimmick before, you're trying to introduce yourself to like somebody new, how would you describe your gimmick? Is that like part of it?
I think that my gimmick is literally that a lot of guys are trying to be a gimmick, trying to be a character, and I'm just trying to be myself. Like, yeah, I mean, like obviously there's aspects where you can say it's like, oh, it's played up, obviously. But like for me, like I really am an asshole, So, I mean, I have to be an asshole 24/7 to be like the way I am cocky, and like in the ring, my chance to actually kind of show that. So for me, it's like, how do I describe my gimmick? It's just I'm Rob fucking Horn. Like, how else do I describe it? It's just me as a person. I'm a metalhead, and I'm a greaseball, and I'm a fucking, I've done some shady stuff in the past. And that's just how it is, I don't know. If you want to see what the gimmick is, just come watch me wrestle and watch me fuck somebody up. That's pretty much all I'm good at.
I love that. I love the answer. It's so just blunt. Appreciate that. How is your wrestling style? Because there's different types of styles, like high flying or like technical or kind of hard hitting. Where will you fall along the line as far as how your wrestling style is when you're facing an opponent?
I would say that it's funny. Like I always hear like you're like a bruiser or something, right? And it's like, no, like I feel like I'm more traditionalist. I do like to chain, like I like to do holds and kind of take my time with things. And punches and kicks, and I do stuff like that. But it's I don't know. It's like it's weird to put a style on it. Like I feel like it's more. It's just mixed. I feel like I can do anything. Like, uh, I have not pulled out a lot of the high flying stuff. I can though. People don't
Uh-huh.
think I can. That's the fun. I can't wait till I do that. I can't wait till the day I just blow somebody's mind when they see my big chunky ass just like jump up. And I don't know. Like I would say it's very technical. If you want to get to that, like with some aspects like being a bruiser or whatever. I don't know what you want to call this stuff, but I punch and kick and I slam and I'll work you around. I'll stretch people, man. That's what I do. I'm a hooker. That's what I am. I'm a big nasty hooker. And if for context, back in the day, brother, that's what the wrestling styles were called. Back with like the Golden Trio and the Carney days, guys were called hookers. That's what they meant when they're going to stretch you out because you're hooking a body part, you're hooking a ligament. That's how you win matches. So,
Nice.
I'm not just your regular street hooker, I'm a ring hooker. Also support sex workers. Do that.
Yes. That's because I literally interviewed somebody last year to the day actually. A woman who does wrestling, but she also does sex work. And I was telling her, I'm like, there's no excuse for the narrow-mindedness in 2020 at the time. Just like let people do what they need to do for whatever reason, and it shouldn't bother you. So definitely.
It's goofy to me. There's a lot of people, especially in wrestling, you'll meet people who are just extremely closed-minded and stuff, and it's like, I don't sleep, so I'm too tired to care about what anybody else is doing, I'm like it's just it's all funny to me. Like who cares? Like make your money. Like that's what I'm trying to do. Like there's a lot of people who think I'm fucking weird. Like I walk out in a bathing suit and I fight people for money. Like I get beat up for cash. What is the difference between me and a girl who does OnlyFans? We both wear sports outfits and entertain old fat men. Like there's no difference. So I don't know. For me, it's like I have an unconventional means of income, and then like it's just with everything in life. You're gonna meet everybody, and there's so many cool people in the world. I don't see a point in being closed-minded because I'm definitely not perfect. I'm probably the kind of lower on that tier. So I don't know. Just support people. Be cool to everybody. That's the best part. Be cool with everybody, and then fuck anybody that you want. If I get paid.
I loved it. I love your answers so far. They're so just like authentic. I love that. What so far, what would you say is your favorite match you have wrestled so far?
Oh God, these are all the hardest questions. Every one of these suck. No, not like your questions suck. It's just like it's hard because I'm for one thing I'm stupid and I get hit in the head a lot, so I just can't remember anything. My favorite match. See, there's like a bunch because like I've wrestled a lot of really cool people. When I did SWE Fury, I wrestled Brent McKenzie. That was pretty. It was a funny. The story behind the match was super funny, and the way we went about it was super funny. And then when I did it, I will say he hits like a truck. That guy's tough. But that was a really fun match, and it was like one of my first times doing national TV. So like that was like a really cool memory for me. Who else was like super fun? I'm missing, and like I apologize to anybody that I'm offending right now because I didn't remember our match. One of my first matches in Texas was against one of my arch rivals, Nathan Bradley. That match was pretty cool. It wasn't good though. I'm not gonna say that match was all right. I lost, and I got hit in the balls. He kicked the rope, and it was like, oh, that one sucked. That was like that match kind of sucked. And then my first time going to I'm gonna be back at Elite Championship Wrestling soon. And then my first time wrestling Gabe Zilla, that was I got my ass kicked in that match too, but that match was super fun. And I almost choked him out, so I'm coming for round two. I mean, yeah, it's just I don't know. Like I don't really have a favorite. I think there's every match has some significance. Everything plays some part. Like I remember doing a battle royal with Rhino, and like I got eliminated by Carlito and stuff. Going down to Miami for Magic City, that was really cool. And there's just, I mean, every match is like there's some significance. There's something that like I took away from it, some lesson. Even if it was a hard lesson or something that I didn't like. Um, I feel like it's like there is no favorites. Like, and I know it's like something that your parents say to you and your siblings, like, oh, you don't have a favorite. But it's like for me, it's like I really don't. Like, I just don't have a favorite. I think everything like I have something. I take everything away from every opponent, and I could name a million guys that I could bring up. But it's just I don't know. I think that's my answer. Is that I love every match I've been in, even if it was a just complete dumpster fire of a match.
Okay. And is there like, if you could face any opponent from any promotion in the world, who would be like something like a dream matchup for you?
I'll just say who I want to wrestle right now. I'll just say like I'll name who's somebody like Casanova Valentine. I've been wanting to wrestle him for like forever. And I know it's like not the most interesting answer, but
No, it's fine.
he's been someone I've been eyeballing forever. And me and him, I talked to him, and I'm like, I want to have this match. I want to kick his ass. And I think it's just because I like to wrestle guys who are larger than me and more intimidating than me.
Uh-huh.
Because I just want to like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm like a chihuahua, but I'm not this like obviously I'm a little bit bigger, but I just like I don't know. I really like to be challenged. And I feel like wrestling guys smaller than me, they're a challenge in their own way. But it's like when you wrestle the guys who are really big, it's like it's always crazy because I remember when I wrestled like Cyrus the Destroyer, I went for like a flying shoulder block or some shit, and he just like nudged me, and I did a backflip, and I'd never done a backflip in my life, and it hurt horribly, but it was like it was just they always have something to add, or I can always do so much more with them that I can't do like with guys who are smaller than me. Even though there's a whole other slew of things I can do with them. That's kind of like where I always aim. That's what I shoot for. Sorry for these weird, complicated answers, but
Oh no, it's good.
I would say like Casanova Valentine right now. Also, like I could just name like 40 guys off the top of my head I want to wrestle. I want to wrestle Joe tomorrow. I want to wrestle Nathan Bradley again. I want to wrestle the whole fucking indie scene. There's a bunch of guys in AEW. Hiroshi Tanahashi would be dope. Like guys like those big stars and shit. And it could be anybody. Rob Horn's for everybody. So I will give anybody these kisses and these hands. Like, what's up?
Oh man, I love that. Would you say there's any advice that you were giving over the years that you held really dear to you, as far as like from another wrestler? It could be a close friend in the industry, just something that you hold very dear to do that you like still take with you every day.
I think like there's a couple pieces of advice, and I would give this advice to anybody. I think the first one is like when you're wrestling, and if you're anywhere and you're doing anything, your priority should always be, one, are you making money? Because if honestly, like, and look, here's the thing, I love it. I have a passion for wrestling. That's deep rooted. I've been doing this I've been around the business since I was 10 years old. And for me, it's like I still got to think about I'm an adult and I have responsibilities and I have things that are outside of this. And it's like if I'm not making money at all, like even if it's like not, if I'm only making $10 a show, like I need to walk out with something. I need to cover some of these bills. That's like the first big one. And the second thing is always, are you making money? Or were you having fun? Because if you're not doing either of those things, then like why are you doing it? Because if you're not having fun but you're making money, at least you're making money. But if you're not making money but you're at least having fun, then like whatever. And like that's the two biggest things. Like because something has to make you happy. And if you're just doing this because you think you have this passion for it and I love it and all this stuff, that's great and all. But it's like you love it. That's like a bad bad relationship, right? Like an abusive relationship is like oh, I love it, but I'm getting nothing out of it. It's like, what's the point at that point? And then I think the second thing that I've always kind of taken away is just like kind of being true to yourself. And that's why it's like the whole gimmick thing. It's like, what's the point? And like being a character, like, why does it have to be made up? For me, like, my character isn't made up. Like, this is just it's a product of me. It's like, this is who I am. Like, if I'm just not interesting as a person, how are you going to be interesting as a character? Like, look at all the greatest wrestlers of all time. Like, they're interesting people as well. And like, if you really like see them in real life, like, and you meet these guys, a lot of times they're just like their characters. And that's how I've always looked at it. And it's like, yeah, you can play it up and be a little more of a buffoon. Like, that's kind of like how I am. But it's like, I don't know. It's like, I'm not a plumber. Like, I'm not gonna go out there with my plunger and like, oh, I'm a plunge your head. Like, there's nothing cool about that. Like, wrestling's supposed to be cool. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be crazy and violent. And it's like, that's my whole mentality on it. And so if I have any advice for anybody out there who would happen to care about what Big Nasty Rob Horn has to say, have fun, make money, and be true to yourself. Because like, that's pretty much all you can do in life in general.
You're so great with these answers. They're so like real life, real life shit right there. And I'm just like, you know what? That's correct. Like, you do want to do things that, yeah, you have to pay your bills, but also you want to be happy doing it. Like, otherwise it's just like doing so begrudgingly. So
yeah, otherwise you go get a 9 to 5. Like, what are you doing? Like, we all have day jobs, but like, it doesn't mean you have to, like, I could go make $50,000 or $100,000 a year on a rig, going and like doing hard ass work, and I might not be happy, but goddamn, I'm gonna make a lot of money, and I'll be able to retire fast and stuff. But like, that's not a cool life. Like, cool, I'm making $1 million a year, brother, and I'm doing all this stuff, but it's like, yeah, but you're doing it, you're miserable. Like, you're not happy. And then if it's like, oh, I'm so happy, I'm doing the thing that I love, and it's like, yeah, but you can't pay your car note, and like, you can't even buy a meal when we go out and stuff. Like, that's kind of like, there's balance. Everything's about balance,
Yeah. One of the things I do appreciate, I guess, as a viewer, is like, wrestling is so different than it was when I was like 10 years old. And now I'm like in my mid-30s. So I'm like, all right, wrestling has definitely changed. What are your thoughts of like the current state of wrestling? Because we do have WWE, we do have AEW, but one of the things I appreciate, I guess, as a fan, is we have all these indie places. And I think there's a personal difference between going to an indie show than going to like one of the main promotions, where I feel like a lot of indie shows, the viewers and the wrestlers feel more close-knit, if that's the word I want to use, than if you go to like a WWE show. So what are your thoughts on, like, I guess, the availability of wrestlers now, or I guess the options that's available, not only as, I guess, a wrestler, but even as a person who's just watching and spectating?
I mean, I think it's sick. Like, this is the thing. I think here's my little soapbox. I think the biggest problem in wrestling is the amount of bitching about wrestling, because that's all that I see now. It's like, so everything is so negative in the world already, and it's like, the point of wrestling is, again, it's supposed to be fun and cool, and like, I feel like a lot of people take that factor out of it, and it kind of like involuntarily is gatekeeping new fans from getting into it. Because like, if I'm like a regular person, I go into a comment section and all I see is just negative shit about everything. Like, this guy sucks and he's not getting pushed, and this is stupid and I hate this storyline. And it's like, man, like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm so tired of reading this stuff. It's like all the time. Like, this guy sucks. This guy sucks. Like, okay, like, who fucking cares, man? Like, and I think people have this like weird entitlement of like, wow, my opinion matters because I posted it on the internet. Like I don't get it. And look, I don't care, because like, you are entitled to your opinion. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's just if you can, should you? Just because you can? And that's the worst part about wrestling nowadays is like, it's always been like that. You always have people who complain about everything, but
Yeah.
I wish people would try and take everything with a grain of salt and just have fun with it. If you don't like it, it's not your cup of tea, walk away from it. Because everybody wants to be a critic, and everybody's so critical of everything, and it's like, man, I just want to enjoy something. Like, and it's not just wrestling, this is everything in life. Like, you can look at everything, and there's always people wanting to hate, or just like, oh, this is stupid, and this is like blah blah blah. And I don't think the artwork in this show was good, or it's like, why? Like, just like stuff, and that's like the worst part. But other than that, I think is sick. There's so much opportunity out there. I'm seeing people that I'm friends with, or I grew up around or grew up watching, and they're getting opportunities on stages they probably never would have if it was the same way it was when I first got around it in 2010, where you only had WWE and a bunch of small indies, and there was really nowhere to go. And I think that's like the coolest part about it. And I'm not one of those people who are like, oh, I missed the Attitude Era, or I missed this era. Like, I don't like to look backwards on anything. And I'm like, I think wrestling is going in a really dope direction, and there's just so much opportunity out there, and so many chances for guys to get their way into a platform that'll get them more money and be able to take care of their families and stuff. And I think that's what's important, is like that we're all making money and doing our thing, and whatever you want to do, like, you're getting something out of it. So, and it helps guys like me or anybody else kind of just working independence, where we can kind of like take a step up, and I can go to a bigger independent promotion, and I can go make more money. And it's like, it's good for the whole business. It's good for business in general. Like, your goal is to do as much as you can. And when spots are limited because so many people want to do it, but there's nowhere to go, it's just, you want to open up that market. You want to open up jobs for guys. And like, that's what it's been doing for me, so I'm just lucky as hell to get in when I got in, and like get the opportunities that I get. So that's pretty much my take. And I think wrestling's dope. I think it's always been dope. Just trying to take a positive mindset out of it. Everybody wants to look at it so bad. It's like, well, it was a lot worse a long time ago. So
yeah, definitely. So we're gonna do a quick speed round of questions to kind of change up a little bit. So I'm going to ask you, a couple of questions, and you just give it to me at the first answer that I guess come to mind. So first question, are you a night owl or a morning bird?
I'm a fucking night owl. I don't sleep.
Last show you binge watched?
I haven't watched TV in a while. Jujutsu Kaisen. There you go.
Okay. Are you a Marvel guy or a DC guy?
DC.
Oh, surprise! So now I have to know, what is your favorite DC character?
Nightwing. Nightwing.
Nice.
Yeah, Nightwing, or I'm really big into like Green Lantern and stuff.
That's a first. I've actually never heard anybody say about Green Lantern, but I do like Nightwing. He's pretty cool. I like him.
Big fan of. I'm a big comic book fan. I can name more. Trust me, I can name more characters. I could go all day on this. I know it's a speed round, so I don't have to get too far into that.
Favorite current song?
Favorite current song? God damn it! I've been listening to like Citizen on repeat, like Roam the Room. That's been like a lot. Like Roam the Room by Citizen. That's been a song I've been playing on. And I'll also say for metal, Where Owls Know My Name by River of Nile. That song has been on my playlist like every day for 6 months. So.
Favorite song of all time?
God. Escape by Rupert Holmes.
Okay. What is something, if you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, what would that food be?
These aren't easy. These are one food for the rest of my life. Probably just like if if I want to be like unhealthy, like I'll just give you the honest answer because I'm not healthy. I don't take care of myself. Probably like a beefy 5-layer burrito from Taco Bell.
Oh, nice. That's a pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's like horrible. Like that's like the worst answer you could give. Like most people are like, oh, why would he eat a salad or pizza? Like something simple. I'm like, nah, just like specifically that.
Oh no, I'm a potato person. I love potatoes. So like if I can eat that probably for the rest of my life, I probably would. Or like cheesecake.
Yeah, no, like that's my thing. It's just like whenever I'm on the road, like, and we're like that's all we eat is like fast food. I'm like, let's go to Taco Bell. I'm gonna get my beefy 5-layer. Like it's my go-to. Yeah. I mean, if I could say anything, I'd say like porterhouse and shrimp and like 5-star meals, but like that's not, be realistic for a second.
If you could have anybody as a dream dinner guest, who would you have sit across the table from you?
Dream dinner guest. The guy who made the Super Size Me documentary.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, whatever. I don't think he's interesting or anything, or like it's a good documentary. I just want to like ask him why. I think that was.
Oh, I remember watching that in high school. Oh man,
it was horrible. I just want to ask him why. That's it.
Are you a texter or somebody who rather speak on the phone?
Neither. Don't fucking contact me.
I love the honesty. I hear you. I hear you. Listen, sometimes you just don't want to be bothered.
I like to talk, and this is not like me being an old head. It's honest. Just talk to me in person. I'd rather have a conversation. I hate texting. Calling is just inconvenient because everybody wants to come up to you and actually talk to you while you're on the phone. And then texting, it's like, requires me to do more than like 10 seconds of work sometimes. Because like I speak in detail. So it's like, it's hard for me to just say something in a single sentence. And I don't use like acronyms or anything like almost ever. So I type out everything and it's just how I am. So for me, it's like, I hate texting. It takes too long and I hate talking on the phone. So just like, shoot me one text that you want to hang out or send me a messenger pigeon. And like, when it gets to me in a month, we can plan out a time to come hang out. I'll talk to you in person. We can have a conversation like people.
If you were stuck on an island and you can only have 3 things, what 3 things would you have?
I would have just like I'd have a bottle of vodka. I don't care. It could be like cheap shit. It could be like Taka because I'm gonna be sad. I don't want to sit on the island fucking alone. I'm gonna be hot, so that's gonna suck. I don't know, like take a knife so I can like throw it at shit. I'm not gonna try and survive. I'm gonna be bored as hell. I'll just starve to death because at that point I wouldn't even give a shit. And I don't know, like it's like something ridiculous, like something ridiculously stupid. I don't know, a game. I'll bring a GameCube. I won't be able to play it. I just want to bring it.
That's such a hard thing.
Yeah, like that's what I want. I want a bottle of vodka, GameCube, and a knife. Like a big ass, like a stupid big knife. Like inconvenient and not good for hunting at all. And then I'll just like I'll just crush the bottle of vodka and just like act like I'm playing the GameCube. People will find me like skinny like Tom Hanks and like I'll like draw a face on the GameCube and I'll like wave it at people like like I'll forget English completely. I'll be like
Okay, that is the last of the speed round questions. I'm gonna give you the floor. Is there anything you want to promote or you wanted to share with the audience?
Oh wow. Yeah, there's a lot of things I want to promote actually. Go listen to Wasted Creation. Those are my boys. I love those guys to death. Every one of them is a homie, and they make phenomenal music. They're all hardworking guys. Proxy Design, that's my designer for all of my stuff. So if you like my logos, which I know you do because they look good, if you like any of my shirts and stuff, like my brother helps me out with a lot of that. He is my biological brother, Proxy Design. Go hit him up. His name's Caleb too. He's literally one of the best. I'm not just saying it. I'm being biased because he's my brother. He's easily one of the best designers I've ever met in my life. The guy is just stupid talented. Jordan Scott, because he's just a cool guy. He makes good music, and he's working on some stuff for me right now. God, who else can I promote? Heritage Wrestling. I'm gonna be on Heritage Wrestling in like 2 weeks. They're selling tickets for the first TV taping, so it's gonna be in Vicksburg, Mississippi, at some casino that I don't know because I'm really bad at scheduling things and remembering where I'm going. I have 4 dates if you want to come hang out, and I'm in the Pensacola area for Elite Championship Wrestling from September to December. I'll be in Alabama in September for AWA. So like, just come see me, come hang out, come buy a shirt. Go to my Pro Wrestling Tees / Rob Horn. But go buy a shirt. Yeah, just like all of those things. Go do all of those things right now. Person watching this podcast.
So I will have all of those links in the description. I think it's super awesome that you also shouted out the people that are part of your squad, your team. I think that's pretty dope. Yeah. So definitely check out all of those guys he mentioned. I will have all the links. Please go to Pro Wrestling Tee and support, buy a shirt. And if you are in the areas he mentioned for a wrestling show, definitely stop by and support. Do everything you can for wrestling. Wrestling matters and all that good stuff. I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast with me today. This was a really, really fun interview. Yeah. Probably one of my favorites.
Yeah. I'll do it again, maybe.
You like Nightwing, and so do I. So I can easily, we can totally just focus on a whole episode focused on Nightwing, because he's pretty dope. I actually really like him too.
I will do a completely comic-based podcast. I'm waiting for someone to offer it to me. But everybody wants to talk about fucking wrestling. So it's like, come on.
We're going to have to set this other one up then.
Yeah, life is like an onion. It has layers, and Big Nasty Rob Horn smells like an onion, brother. So just come on, give me the opportunity.
Definitely going to set that up then.
I'm an interesting guy.
We're going to have to make this happen. There's a couple other wrestlers who've been saying other things. It's like, you know what, guys? I like comics. I'm a bit of a nerd myself, so...
No, I'm not a nerd. I can read, and I like books with the pictures. So, like the picture books. I don't like the ones with just words.
Okay, so again, I will have everything in the description. Please share, support, and thank you so much. Until next time, guys.
And thank you.